Good morning. I'm Joel Williams, Director of Wholesale Fuels for Sprague Energy. Welcome to Sprague's Refined Products Review, where we discuss what's moving the market, giving you insight into what we're seeing every day. Today is Wednesday, June 11th. Last week, the market was mostly reacting to major geopolitical events, so today we'll be talking about them. First up is the Russia-Ukraine war, which was back at the top of the headlines after Ukraine launched two attacks on long-range Russian bombers and on a critical bridge connecting Russia and Crimea. This resulted in Russia retaliating with an unprecedented number of airstrikes on Ukraine. A planned ceasefire negotiation session last week lasted less than an hour, with nothing positive coming out of it. Russia remains firm that any end to the war would require Ukraine to give up significant territory, dismantle its military, commit to not joining NATO, and the US and Europe would need to lift all sanctions currently on Russia. Ukraine is showing no desire to meet anything close to those demands. So where does the war go from here, and how does that impact oil prices? First and foremost, Russia faced substantial losses last week in regards to those two attacks, so the world is on edge waiting to see just how far Putin will go in his retaliation. The market appeared to react to this unknown by raising the risk premium on an expanding war, and thus distillates reacted by moving up over a dime in price. Only time will tell how much further this war escalates. Trump also seems to be realizing that he can't end this war as quickly as he had boasted he can, purely through negotiation. So what is next for him? Well, the biggest news story no one is talking about is that there is a bipartisan bill currently in the Senate called the Sanctioning Russia Act of 2025. This bill already has the support of 80 senators, evenly split between Dems and Republicans, and just needs Trump's backing to come to fruition. Included in this bill are sanctions that will freeze Russian assets and further restrict Russian officials and oligarchs. But its most impactful sanction would be to implement 500% tariffs on any countries that continue buying Russian oil and gas. This is clearly targeting China and India, who account for over $500 billion in annual imports into the US. The goal here is to remove almost all Russian oil from the marketplace, which would impact energy prices overall. Now on to a geopolitical topic closer to home that is not getting nearly enough airtime. The USMCA, or United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, which is currently governing all trade between the US and its border mates. Here are a few facts about the USMCA. It is the trade agreement that replaced NAFTA. Its 5-year anniversary is on July 1st and is due for a 6-year review next year. It governs $1.5 trillion in trade between the US and its bordering countries. Trump negotiated the original agreement, but has shown a strong desire to renegotiate or terminate it this year prior to its expiration. So what would negotiations mean? Generally, businesses on both sides of the border would like to see it renegotiated in hopes it will bring certainty back to the market and allow for increased investment that is currently sitting on the sideline during this period of high uncertainty. Mexico and Canada have taken two very different approaches to Trump when it comes to negotiating. Mexico has chosen to work with Trump, and Trump has responded with praise for Mexico's new president. Canada has taken a very different tact and has chosen to fight back against Trump. The new Liberal Prime Minister Carney won office on an anti-Trump platform, and no love is lost between these two. So as renegotiation of this trade pact kicks off in the coming months, a lot will be at stake, namely tariffs and the flow of energy and energy products between these countries. There's a lot to come on this topic, but it remains one we should all be watching. If you haven't seen it yet, check out our most recent special feature, an overview on Sprague Engineering, available now on our YouTube channel. And be sure to mark your calendars for our next special feature, a tour of our Newington terminal, releasing on Friday, June 27th. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next Wednesday with another refined products review. Refine your insight, fuel your success.